Hello, and thanks for dropping by. I've been in conversation this week with a number of people who have been talking along the same theme. And it just got me thinking about what is enough? I mean, enough is a theme that comes up over and over again in discussions that I have, coaching and counseling discussions. Because oftentimes I think we do have this message in America, at least, which is all about we're always chasing more. We're chasing more, 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 more. Like no matter what you have, it's not enough. We want more, 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 more. So, I mean, that's just a perpetual state of dissatisfaction, if you ask me, if you can never be okay with what you have. Now, I want to make a point first, which is that there is definitely, as we've seen in recent years, a growing discrepancy between working class individuals and the wealthier elites. And that gap, of course, has been talked about a lot in the news. And so I want to just put that aside for a moment because I think it's very true that there are things that are happening in our society that need to be addressed that are not okay and that people should not be left behind. So I do believe in that. And yet I think there's also just this drive that's programmed within us to always keep chasing more, even if we actually stop to think about it, we do have enough. We do have plenty. I mean, those of us who, I mean, if you're watching this right now, I would say you probably have enough. You're probably doing okay in life. Now, you may not think you're doing okay, or you may think that you need more to feel okay. But I would argue that just the fact that you're sitting here listening to this video indicates that you're doing okay. You have enough. So, but what happens to us if we are programmed to always be wanting more, going after more, trying to get more, trying to make more, trying to do more? Uh, what does that do to us? Well, as I was saying earlier, it keeps us in a state of dissatisfaction. I mean, if you never feel like you have enough, or you never feel like you are enough, or you never feel like you're doing enough, then you're always on this hamster wheel chasing this idea of more, whatever that is. Whether it's more money or more free time or more stuff, more toys, more, I don't know. But the point is more. It's this idea of more. And it comes from a place of feeling like I don't have enough or I'm not enough, or some kind of attempt to fill a void. So if we're in a state of dissatisfaction much of the time, are we ever going to actually get to a place where we feel like we have enough or we are enough? I mean, that's the illusion, of course. The illusion is that we are going to finally reach a place where we feel like we are enough or we have enough. But of course, if we are living in dissatisfaction all the time, that's how we're living. I mean, we're not, there's no destination that we're going to suddenly reach in which we feel okay, because how we're feeling in the moment, that's how we're moving in our lives from the present to the future. The future doesn't contain some level of contentment that we don't have now. And that's what we're often tricked into thinking, I think, by society. It's, myths of society, um, machines of capitalism, they all train us to think this way. So I would like to discuss this concept of contentment, and we could talk about happiness, because again, what is happiness? I mean, people have written whole books about that. um, but I would like to look at the word contentment, because I've found that sometimes people have mixed feelings about contentment. Contentment to them means complacency, or it means that we're no longer striving for anything. We're no longer working. We've given into laziness. This idea, and I think again, it's linked to the work ethic of our culture, and the idea being that contentment, meaning just kind of allowing yourself to enjoy what you have, is almost a sin. It's giving up, it's giving in, it's indulging, it's being lazy and complacent. And I don't really think that's what contentment is. I think contentment is actually allowing yourself to rest, to be present, to enjoy the fruits of your labors instead of always asking what's next, what's next, what's next, where can I get more, how can I get more. Just being able to stop and truly take in what's around you, what you already have that's working for you, your existing resources. Contentment is it's letting go of all the striving. But that doesn't mean that you're never going to strive again. It doesn't mean that your drive is going to disappear and you're just going to become a sloth. And I think that's what people fear. They fear, well, if I actually, let up on the gas, then I'm gonna just again, I'm gonna become this lazy sloth and good for nothing. And what I'm trying to say is maybe there's an easier way. Maybe you don't have to be going great guns all the time. Maybe you don't have to have the pedal to the metal all the time. Maybe it's okay to rest, to just enjoy what's happening in your life right now. And what if that is enough? What if what's happening right now in your life is enough? And we're often looking at what we want, more of. In other words, what we feel like we don't have enough of, or what we need to feel complete. And again, oftentimes the target changes. The minute we actually get the thing we thought we needed, well, that doesn't do it. So it doesn't complete us the way that we thought it was going to. So we got to look for something else. I mean, that's the endless chase. So, another thing I'm kind of saying here is that it's always how you're looking at things that matters. In other words, we might not ever have all the pieces of the pie in place at once. That happens very rarely, I think, where it's just like everything's great. I mean, it does happen. And what I mean is everything, like, okay, I've got the relationship, I've got the kids, I've got the career, I've my, family, friends, whatever are the pieces of your pie. But the fact of the matter is that you can have a piece or two missing and you can still have a whole, full life, a life in which you can feel content, and that you don't have to be chasing the missing pieces with such urgency. Well, if only I can get this other piece. Now I lost this piece and now I got to get that piece back. And then I'm still on the chase for this piece. And once I get all those pieces, then I'll be okay. Something tells me that if you're not okay now, you're not going to be okay then. Because we're okay in the moment. We either know how to be okay, we know how to be content, or we don't. It's not going to somehow happen just because we get all the pieces of the pie. There's going to be some other piece that goes missing, or we're going to realize that there's something else we need, or we need more of that thing. Or so contentment or happiness or fulfillment happens in the now. It happens now. And if you can look at what you have in your life now with appreciation and see that it is enough, then anything else is an enhancement. So do you see what I'm saying? Contentment is not a dirty word. And also what I'm saying is being content with your life doesn't mean you're going to lose your drive. We don't have to be hungry all the time. And that's another one of those cultural myths that, if you're not hungry, then you're not going to get what you want. And I think there are, you can have desires by all means, but it doesn't mean you have to be ravenous and you have to be driven and you have to be like we're willing to tear it up and then step on anybody to get what you need. No, it's more about seeing that your life is full as it is, and that pursuing those other things that you might want in life, that's part of the game. But you don't have to be approaching that from this place of drive and frenzy and lack and trying to fill a void. I'm just suggesting that you take a look at this contentment and see if you can enjoy moments of contentment. And if you do already enjoy moments of contentment, well, enjoy more of them. There's a lot to be appreciative of in our lives, in spite of all the aspects that are chaotic or the things that may seem like they're missing. And if you can enjoy your whole life as it is now, that just makes everything so much easier. So again, what if you can be content? What if you can see that what you have is enough? Doesn't mean that you're not going to have more. It doesn't mean that wanting more is bad, because that's not what I'm saying either. It's definitely not bad to want more. It's fun to want more. It's nice to have desires and to go after them. That's fun. It just doesn't have to be so desperate. It doesn't have to feel like we're not complete until we get A, B, or C. So by all means, play the game, have fun, but enjoy your life right now. Enjoy what's working right now. It's just something to think about a bit. Like, can you maybe kind of relax a little more into your life? Maybe you don't need as much as you think, or maybe you don't need any more than you have. You can want that, but maybe you don't need more. Maybe it's okay to just acknowledge and appreciate what's working now, to be content. So with that, I will bid you adieu. And I hope that you will drop in again next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.